Welcome everyone, welcome Plutonian peeps. Today we're actually focusing on Pluto itself. So here's the recording. I hope you like it. So, Pluto is everything that I'm basically part of it is what I'm doing right now. Dealing with trash. But trash, oftentimes we think it's like something we just throw away. It's Pluto is there to teach us. As I turn off this exhaust fan, those who know how to work with Pluto know how to talk about things like shit, waste, manure, things we avert our eyes from, things we find taboo, things we find that are just unacceptable because it's not pleasant. If you look at the mythology of Pluto, it's like Hades, right? Hades was the ruler of the underworld, but he was also apparently associated with wealth. And what that means is like wealth in a way that is not, oh, I got all the money I want. No, as in like inner power. Especially for those who have personal planets, in particular the luminaries, sun and the moon, any stronger aspects to Pluto. But it also means that it's not whatever the aspects are really. As someone who has Sun Pluto conjunction, I've learned to release egoic desires. And as I do this, it's going to be a little messy and you're not going to like it. But the point is not to like it. The point is to just go. So I'm going to take care of the waste as I hold this camera. So it's recycling. You guys have this. It's on now. There you go. So I just got rid of. We have this waste program. That's what do you call it? They collect the garbage. People collect garbage, but they also collect like the biodegradable stuff, and they also, of course, do take recyclable items like plastic cans or metals or anything like that. And yeah, what else am I going to do here? Actual waste. So you can see also that Pluto is very slow if you look at its orbit. So Pluto is very slow, so that also means that when you have things in life, anything it is attached to tends to be slow in effect. But it also means that there's an inner surge of like its inner power. It's as a higher vibration of Mars, it's not about action. It's about, how do I explain this? It's in depth, like always a transformation. If you look at mushrooms, those who love mushrooms, not only for vegans, like myself. Well, I guess I'm almost vegan. I don't really claim to be vegan, but so those who love mushrooms or eat mushrooms, they're from their mycelial network. They come from what we call waste, right? We think of like ew, gross. There's shit. There's crap everywhere. There's fertilizer. But where do mushrooms grow out of? Exactly. Right. So without the mycelial network, I think there would be no life, because life comes out of death, and vice versa. They're kind of interchangeable. It's creation and destruction. That's part of the process of Pluto. And Pluto will teach you to be genuine because it kills off things that you don't need. It gets rid of those things that you don't need in your life, and it'll teach you to do that. If you don't learn to accept it, there will be different things. It's not, but the thing is, remember, this is about blessing. This is about finding the truth and finding the goodness out of everything. When I say goodness, I don't just mean good. This isn't. I learned this as the opposite, and through shadow work. But that's also why the shadow is there. Shadow is something that we don't want to do. Sometimes part of ourselves we don't want to see in ourselves, and so Pluto deals with all that stuff. So I'll show you how another example of where Pluto rules. And that's the apple tree in my neighborhood. Well, this house, really. And I'll show you this. So, especially with Sun around. Sun Pluto. I have Sun Pluto, so yay. So here is the apple tree. You see me take pictures of it. So you can probably see. I can't move the thing. There's a lot of mosquitoes here, but it's fine. You can see this apple tree. I don't know if you can really see it. So there's a waste stuff that we put down there. We collect the leaves and I just dump it in there, and it's been growing. You see the grass that grows underneath it? There's a lot of nutrients. This apple tree is very sweet. When it grows, it's very, very sweet. It's sweet. See what I mean? So there's an example of Plutonian effects. Like if you wait, the sun is too bright today. You see what I mean? Even as my Sun Pluto person, it's like, my goodness, the sun is too bright. Because I've learned to, I actually enjoy, this is why I enjoy the rain. I enjoy when it's cold. I enjoy intensity. That's also Pluto. So I'm actually going to put this on it. Let's see if this works. Okay. So I might need to it's just around. I'm actually just washing my hands. I have Sun in Libra, so Pluto in Libra as well. And what that means is I like clean things. But it also means because I have, there we go. Because I also have, we call it Venus and Virgo, it affects that. But I also have Eris, which I consider a ruler, the main ruler. Well, I guess it will be the main ruler. I'm not really sure. We're not really sure. But for me right now, it's kind of a comfort to consider Eris as a ruling planet of Libra because it hasn't fully completed its cycle. So we don't know yet. And that'll be they'll be long, several, I don't know. Well, by the way, I forgot to mention, Pluto is basically where we tend to do things unassisted or alone. Not necessarily because we're lonely, because it gives us, it's an inner sort of it's inner processing, a lot more than the moon, a lot more than Neptune. It's because moon is Cancer and Neptune is Pisces. But this is why you see people who are Scorpio, especially if they have stronger Scorpio placements in their charts. It means, it shows, again, astrology is there to reveal signs that's already there, energies that are already existent. Astrology isn't there to tell your future. It's already been written. It's already been. When I say written, I don't mean we still have a choice, but it's our soul contract. It's what we chose to be here for. It's that thing, right? What we're doing that's not written. That's the one that how it's going to be, why it's going to be, because of the agreement we chose with ourselves in our contract in this life. That's what it's showing. But the little things we do, like what we do, literally what we do, those are not. Those are still open to, that's open for us to, free for us to actually learn. Free will. Right? We live on the planet of free will, according to Dolores Cannon. And that's true. Okay, so yeah, I'm just going to put this down here. What else? So as I talk about Aries, when Pluto is in Aries, Pluto was in Aries. It's a generational thing because it is long, but it also affects us individually, kind of more subtly, because of any of the transpersonal planets. So sort of Uranus and all the way out. So Pluto is, when it's in Aries, it reveals things we have to work on when it comes to um, our bodies, our health in general, and also curiosity, things like things we do for anger itself, or assertiveness, and all that Martian stuff, but more about leadership and also how we relate to ourselves, because it's the opposite. Aries is the opposite of Libra. It's not a relationship with others, it's a relationship with yourself. How you see yourself into this world. See, I scratch my brush right in front of you guys. I'm so Plutonian. I don't care. And yeah, so that's what it is. And it goes into Taurus. Now Taurus, Pluto in Taurus reveals. Sorry, I also have to do the garbage. Pluto in Taurus reveals what we need to work on when it comes to worth, self-worth, what we value, material possession, earthly stuff, pleasures. Okay, there's many other things that Pluto teaches us through Taurus. And then it goes into Gemini, which is about communication and learning, our siblings as well, most likely, but that's more like a third house thing. And what else is there? Oh, and of course, little bits of traveling, like short travels. Like what I mean by that is like things communication is usually when you relate with someone, right? So it's communication more. It's like expression. That's basically Gemini. It's all about the games. It's all about communication. It's all about that like that kind of thing. So it's not really like long distance travel, not like Sagittarius, which is of course the ninth house. So Pluto in that case is all about that. So what needs to be real, basically. Pluto reveals genuineness, what we really need to know about these things. Then it goes into Cancer, which is family, nurturing, security, all those things. I can't really multitask right now, but I do have to put away this plastic. So, what else is there? Inheritance, things that we hide to ourselves, things that we things that we consider important to our inner being. So people or people who had Pluto in Cancer tended to be very secretive. I have Pluto conjunct my fourth house, or my Nadir. So it basically also applies to me. So kind of like that as well. Very secretive, very because we like to process things internally, especially because maybe for me, vitality is the sun, right? And then now we go into Leo, speaking of the sun. Pluto in Leo is like, I think my parents' generation is Pluto in Leo. The baby boomers, many of them are. I think what many of them are. It wants to reveal to the person or the individual, the native, what is important in terms of what's really, really genuinely important in terms of like your pride, your childlikeness, your like the things that you enjoy in life. What is really fun? What is really enjoyable? What is recreation? What is the kind of, and also children. How do we relate with children?